If you have a child, you've probably been to the doctor for an ear infection.
In fact, the National Institutes for Health reports 5 out of 6 kids will have at least one ear infection by their 3rd birthday.
If a child gets too many in a short period, ear tubes are often the answer, and that requires a hospital visit and anesthesia. But some families say there's another option that's more comfortable for the kids.
Reporter Kari Beal explains how the procedure can be done in a doctor's office in just minutes.
Well, he had one big cluster of ear infections that it may have been the same one, may have been multiple ones, but for a month or two, he just had ear infection.
Stephen Flowers says his 1-year-old son Banks was constantly fussy due to his ear infections.
We were really frustrated because we tried all these different antibiotics and the antibiotics upset his stomach.
Newberry ear, nose, and throat doctor Wayne Harsha says kids often get ear infections because their eustachian tubes, which connect to the eardrum, are smaller than adults.
And so it doesn't work very well. And they ultimately get basically a little vacuum in that space, and it will actually suck bacteria from the nose into the ear and cause an ear infection.
When a child gets 3 ear infections or more in a 6-month period, ear tubes are often recommended.
They put a hole in the eardrum to equalize the pressure there, and it reduces the number of ear infections that a kid will get.
This usually requires a hospital visit with anesthesia, but a new medical device called the Hummingbird can be done in the office.
A Hummingbird procedure takes about a minute per side, and there's no anesthesia at all.
This handheld device is used to insert the ear tube into the eardrum.
So when we deploy it, it literally just pushes the tube out, just like that.
It's a very fast procedure.
Each year probably took less than a minute, and our child, he handled it really well. He cried a little bit, but it wasn't bad. It didn't hurt.
Flowers says Banks has been much better since his procedure in December. It doesn't cure ear infections, but it makes it much more comfortable if the child gets one.
Before we had ear infections, that fluid would be trapped behind the eardrum, and it would hurt him really bad. He would pull on his ears, and he was just fussy all the time. The ear infection with the tubes didn't act like it bothered him at all.
This procedure is geared for children, and there are dozens of providers nationwide. You can find a location on Hummingbird's website.
And while it's not always covered by insurance, in the case of the Flowers family, they said it was cheaper to pay out of pocket than for a regular ear tube procedure with insurance. I guess that makes sense because it's such a quick procedure. It looked like it, at least in the story that we just saw.
You know, growing up, I had 3 tubes in one ear.
3 tubes in one ear.
And if I had this option, that would have been great.
That would have been very nice.
Much better.
Oh, well.